Hi everyone, the great aim of education is not knowledge but action, this is our motto. And before getting into the video, please click the subscribe button and turn on the notification for more interesting videos. The life on this planet likely won't cease until billions of years from now. But, depending on our fate, it could also happen tomorrow or any time in between. Here are the many ways scientists believe Earth could die. 1. Earth's molten core might cool. Earth is surrounded by a protective magnetic shield, called the magnetosphere. The field is generated by Earth's rotation, which swirls a thick shell of liquid iron and nickel, the outer core, around a solid ball of metal, the inner core, creating a giant electric dynamo. The magnetosphere deflects energetic particles that emanate from the Sun, changing its size and shape as it's hit. The resulting flood of high-energy particles that slam into Earth's air can trigger beautiful auroras, or sometimes disruptive geomagnetic storms. But if the core cools, we'd lose our magnetosphere, and also our protection from solar winds, which would slowly blast our atmosphere into space. Mars, once rich with water and a thick atmosphere, suffered this same fate billions of years ago, leading to the nearly airless, seemingly lifeless world we know today. 2. The Sun could start to die and expand. The Sun, and our position relative to it, is perhaps the most important piece of our tenuous existence. But the Sun is still a star. And stars die. Right now, the Sun is midway through life, steadily converting hydrogen into helium through fusion. That won't last forever, though. Billions of years from now the Sun will run low on hydrogen and start fusing helium. It's a more energetic reaction and will push the Sun's layers outward, and possibly start pulling Earth toward the Sun. We'd be incinerated and then vaporized. 3. Earth could get pushed into a deadly orbit. Speaking of rogue planets, worlds often get kicked out of their solar systems during formation. According to recent simulations, in fact, rogue planets may outnumber stars in the Milky Way by 100,000 to 1. One of those rogue planets could drift into the solar system and destabilize Earth into an extreme and inhospitable orbit. A world that's large enough and drifts close enough could even kick us out of the solar system entirely, or cause us to collide with a nearby planet, like Venus or Mercury. As its own rogue planet, Earth would become an ice ball. Meanwhile, a significant gravitational shove could also make extreme and deadly seasons that alternate between blisteringly cold and searingly hot. 4. A rogue planet could hit Earth. Or instead of just passing by and disrupting Earth's orbit, a drifting world could make a direct hit. It wouldn't be unprecedented. About 4.5 billion years ago, a small planet crashed into a larger planet in the solar system, forming Earth and its moon. A new collision would similarly send debris flying all over the solar system and melt Earth 100% through. And while the new planet would eventually reform and cool down, it's anyone's guess if it'd be habitable. 5. Asteroids could bombard the planet. Rocks from space can be pretty destructive. A big one probably wiped out the dinosaurs, though it would take a lot of asteroids to properly dispatch the entire planet. Still, it could happen. Earth was heavily bombarded by asteroids for hundreds of millions of years after it formed. The impacts were so intense that the oceans boiled for a full year. Today's larger life forms almost certainly wouldn't make it. Air temperatures could reach more than 480 degrees Celsius for several weeks if we suffered a similar pummeling. 6. Earth could pass too close to a wandering black hole. Black holes might be Hollywood's second favorite form of planet death. It's easy to see why. They're as mysterious as they are frightening. Even the name is ominous. We don't know much about them, but we do know they're so dense that not even light can escape beyond a black hole's event horizon. And scientists think recoiled black holes are out there wandering through space, just like rogue planets. It's not inconceivable that one could pass through the solar system. A small black hole might harmlessly pass through Earth, though anything larger than mass of the Moon would cause big problems. If light can't escape, Earth definitely won't. There are two ideas about what could happen after the point of no return, given a big enough rogue black hole. Beyond the event horizon, atoms might stretch until they're pulled apart entirely. Other physicists have theorized we'd run right into the end of the universe, or end up in an entirely different one. Even if a recoiled black hole misses Earth, it might pass closely enough to cause earthquakes and other devastation, kick us out of the solar system, or spiral us into the sun. 7. Earth's atmosphere could be obliterated in a gamma ray burst. Gamma ray bursts, or GRBs, are one of the most powerful phenomena in the universe. Most are the result of massive stars collapsing when they die. One short blast can emit more energy than our sun will over the course of its lifetime. That energy has the potential to eradicate the ozone layer, flood the Earth with dangerous ultraviolet light, and trigger rapid global cooling. In fact, a GRB pointed at Earth might have caused the first mass extinction 440 million years ago. Luckily, David Thompson, Deputy Project Director on the Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope, told National Geographic that GRBs aren't really a big concern. 8. The universe could go to pieces in its final big rip. This is the thing that could actually end the whole universe, not just the Earth. The idea, a mysterious force called dark energy, is pushing the universe apart at a faster and faster rate. If this keeps accelerating, as it seems to be doing now, perhaps 22 billion years from now the force that keeps atoms together will fail, and all matter in the universe will dissolve into radiation. 9. Pandemics. We can see a live example currently around the globe. Twice in modern history, plagues have swept across the world, killing an estimated 15% of the population in a few decades. They occurred way back in the 5th and 14th centuries, respectively, but there is a serious risk that a new infectious disease could cause another outbreak, especially with today's urban and mobile global population. Luckily, deadly diseases with the capacity to spread globally are rare. But they do happen. A century ago, the Spanish flu killed more than 50 million people. Outbreaks of SARS and Ebola in recent years also ring alarm bells. Antibiotics, our greatest defense against disease, are becoming less effective as some strains of bacteria become resistant to them. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria are responsible for an estimated 700,000 annual deaths. If we don't develop new advances against antibiotic resistance, that number is estimated to reach 10 million by 2050. 10. Supervolcanic explosion. A supervolcanic explosion 74,000 years ago ejected so much debris into the atmosphere that scientists believe it caused the Earth to cool by several degrees Celsius. Some experts believe this caused the greatest mass plant and animal extinction in human history, bringing the species to the brink of extinction. How likely is that to happen today? It's hard to say since we don't have much to compare it to, but data suggests a supervolcanic eruption occurs on average every 17,000 years. If that's true, then we're overdue. The last one we know of was 26,500 years ago in New Zealand. We don't have a way to anticipate eruptions more than a few weeks or months in advance, and we don't really have any way to reduce the likelihood of eruption right now, but scientists are monitoring several areas of risk, including Yellowstone in the US. Okay friends, that's all for now. Stay tuned for more updates.